Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and a man with far too much free time on his hands. This is not a test. This is a random review.
Hello everyone. So, it's been a while since I did a review like this. Only one cam. We are here on my old worn out computer desk. And I am resorting to this because I kinda, sorta, maybe have a hurricane on the way. So, in order to make sure the channel has videos while I am potentially without power for a few days, I resorted to this guerrilla style reviews format because this is very easy for me to actually get a lot of things done and talk about a lot of toys in a very short span. So this kind of review is going to take over the channel for a while. And if we get into some of them, you'll know that my blackout lasted a little bit longer than I thought. So we just opened up Knockout here in the most absurd way I possibly could, so we might as well talk about the toy properly. As covered before, it is a retool of Studio Series Jazz, which is a good figure plagued by a ton of clear plastic and a breakage issue because of said stuff. They never listen to me. But we have the toy here once again done up in a very, very slick style akin to something that I think Prime Knockout would like very much. No, it is not his vehicle from from Prime, but it is a very, very nice red sports car looking very, very slick, very cool. Really, really do like this. Really deep shade of red too, which looks really, really nice. What I really like here is that it does have this like super faded deco that goes from silver all the way to the burgundy in the back. It's a really neat look. Gives it a very like very cool kind of like street racer vibe. Really dig it. All right, grill done up silver paint all the way around. Very, very nice. Tiny little Decepticon symbol right there. Rear, absolutely nothing, but at the very least his feet are far less prominent than they are on Jazz, so it's a much cleaner profile here in the rear. Gold on the rims, that is traditional Knockout design. Nice to see that back. Translucent smoky black for the windshield. Yeah, the translucent, by the way, is pretty much the entirety of the chest in the front. Also these headlights can have translucent effects on them. Yeah. What I will say is that in a rare instance, the paint match actually isn't too bad here. Yeah, it's actually pretty close as far as like paint to standard plastic color. So good job, Hasbro. Every now and then you nail that. Right. Looking good. So yeah, it's a nice looking vehicle. The one weirdness I have to this is this front fender, the wheel well here that is left gray because that's just a part of the components. I feel like, yeah, this might have been unavoidable because of how the parts work out, and if that's palm plastic, then yeah, it's not going to be paintable. You know the easy fix? Paint the other one. If that was painted the same gray and it was uniform, that would actually look pretty good. You know, then that wouldn't be so like obvious at the very least. So yeah, it's an annoyance. Also, as I'm looking at this, I just realized the front and the rear wheels have completely different peg systems. This pegs into the car. This pegs onto the car. Distinct difference. Weird how that works. So again, weird inconsistency between the front and back tires. All right, so if we want to arm him up a little bit, you got a 5mm port on the top and then one on each side like so. And his weapon does conveniently fit in any of them. Now the weapon is a little bit modular. The end can come off, so if I want to plug it into the side and give him a little bit more armament, I can do that. There is the 5mm port going through it I can use, or I can use the handle and give him a different type of like top mounted weapon. So I like modular weapons like that. I like that you get plenty of display options and accessory choices. Very, very nice. All right, transformation time. just transform this guy into the into the car in the weirdest way possible. Now I gotta transform him back the normal way. And unfortunately, that's probably not gonna be nearly as contested. All right, so let me get the door panels out first. Get those out of the way. That's gonna unlock the rear and the front as well. Get those up. He's now flying car mode. All right. Unclip the top from the rear. That can all extend out now. Once we get him into robot mode, I'll find the tabs that'll lock those knees into place. Extend this up. The back folds up like so. If I can double hinge it up and tuck it in like that, and then we can... ooh, that's in there weird. Hang on. That's in there weird. Hang on. I have to fold it in like this. It's not quite as clean as it is on Jazz, but hey, we can get there. There we go. And that's going to be his backpack, nice and tight. Folding the arms out like so. And the flip to the fists. Get them out of the forearms. Come on. I said flip to the I've said flip. Get out of his forearm. There you go. Easy. All right. Let me untab this. Super tight tab on that one. Like, yeah, you can see like there is a stress mark right there already formed. That's not good. That's not good. Let's see, make sure the knees are pegged into the front sections of his shins. Fold the feet out. Rotate. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ooh, that's a little bit more solidly in there than it is on Jazz. But yeah, we can pop these forward and rotate them down. There we go. And now the top, where I'm going to flip that downward. I'm going to rotate his head up and out. Then fold all this down. I always forget this part. The waist has to rotate all the way around. The belly, actually, not exactly the waist. That's where this little tab is going to, this big tab is going to go onto these two little tabs to secure the torso. Rotate those forward. All right, and now get the backpack folded up as flat against the back as I can. It's a double hinge, so I have a few options. Let's do that. Let's make it that. And that is going to be Knockout in his robot mode. So just like Jazz, it's a perfectly fine transformation. Nothing really wrong with it. Nothing to really write home about either. It's very efficient. I do like how the backpack does fold up. It's pretty clean. It's pretty solid once it's all there. Yeah, no real issue. Does a pretty fine job. Proportionally, yeah, he's still got the same kind of pretty solid proportions Jazz does all the way around. He looks pretty nice and evenly toned all the way around. Really, really happy with him. Let me bring it up close, and I gotta manually do the focusing on this one. All right, so we're gonna get the we're gonna get the elephant out of the room. Yes, he has a nose and some extra lines across his face. He is recognizable. It definitely looks like Knockout, but yeah, it is a very modified Knockout. Something that is definitely more akin to a G1 look. They have talked about this in the past, where they want everything in Generations to kind of have this matched aesthetic, which means everything kind of has to look a little more G1, and that's really what they're going for with Knockout here. Going forward, they said they're going to tone that back. Oh, I can only hope. But for now, yeah, we have to deal with it. I don't think it's a bad visual, but it's also not right. And I've said this a lot in Hasbro products, I feel. Does it look good? Yes. Is it correct? No. And I would rather have correct. Beyond that, everything else in the robot mode looks pretty nice. We got some tech greeble down there on the legs. The vents, a very popular effect on the legs. See that quite often these days. Everything on the forearms, pretty simple. Nothing too heavily teched out. The pelvis is still shared from Jazz, more heavily painted this time. There really isn't that much reused from Jazz. I can start to see parts of it, like the arms and such, but he does a good job of having a different vibe and feel to him. So that's all I really want out of my remolds. Thankfully, that is what we get this time. So, yeah, all the way around, you can see he's, again, pretty well proportioned. I do really like the silhouette here. Like I said, the backpack folds up nice and clean. It does, it's a bulky backpack, but there's no door wings, there's no parts flying off anywhere. Works pretty well. Joints feel okay. I could stand with a little bit tighter elbows on mine, but yeah, legs seem to hold well with that little tab holding the lower legs together. That knee could be a little bit tighter, but it all holds a pose, so I'm not really going to argue it too much. For the articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so you do get some up and down motion along with left and right. Shoulder is universal. Nice. Always love to see that. Bicep 360. Elbow 90 degree. Nothing in the wrist rotation. Pelvis rotates just fine. The backpack can fold out very easily and get out of the way if you need it. Good universal hips. Only slightly restricted if you go for the widest angle there. Thigh is 360 degrees. Always good to see. Look at that knee bend. Look at that knee bend. Now, I do have to break transformation to get that knee bend, but hey, if you need it, you got it. Besides that, it's your standard 90-degree knee. And then, yep, nice ankle tilt as well. Everything going pretty good for knockout. See, now, armament in this mode, we do have millimeter ports right here on the forearms, as well as his hands, of course, and we still have the one in the back here that's accessible, as well as this one. So tons of places to arm him up. Naturally, his spear weapon is a throwback to his original toy as well. I'm going to go ahead and clip that in properly so we can actually mount it in his hand. He's doing this weird, like this extended off handle instead of actually handling the spear itself. It's on this weird extension. I've never liked how this looks. This doesn't look like you can wield this as properly as you can an actual spear, which is slightly annoying. He doesn't have any kind of butterflying to his chest, so he also cannot double handle it in any convincing way. You can maybe get a little bit of that out of there, but it's for show at best, and there's not too many positions that it's possible at. But hey, it's an option, and if I don't want that, I can just pluck the blade off, mount that in. Okay, look, I got a sniper rifle now, a gaudy one, but it's there. And ooh, look, arm blade, very, very nice. I actually think I like that better. So that is your Legacy Knockout. It is a very nice redo of Jazz, which is already a good figure, and yeah, he does a okay job of actually being an impersonation of Prime Knockout, almost like a fan interpretation or a cosplay that couldn't quite get it right, but we give him credit for trying. It's not a bad toy. The toy itself is very good, but this is really going to come down to how dedicated is your need for Knockout to be completely accurate. In that, you're not going to be happy. Of course, that's not shocking. But Knockout is one of those toys, one of those characters who never really got a good toy in his time. I'm always hopeful he'll come back in New Fiction and get something that looks more proper and more like his more unique robot. Until then, this'll do. But like I said, it looks good, but it doesn't look right. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.